James Prochet had something of a breakout game, at least for this year, the other night. How much of that was a result of just what the Tulsa defense offered, and how much was maybe something that you saw in the week leading up? Did you expect that kind of performance out of James?
I actually did. I called last Sunday night that he would be our player of the game. I really did, and he was our player of the game. It was really time for James to kind of break out, but it was really about what Tulsa's defense gave us. We felt really good about the matchups we had with him, and on certain routes, that's why we opened the game, throwing it to him. The very first play of the game, wish he'd have made that play, but I know he wishes he would have too. But it was just a good matchup this week for him, and he went out and executed and played great.
So who's going to be your player of the game this week?
I hadn't called one yet. I don't know. Need to try to figure that out.
So you talked on the conference call yesterday about how the defensive line really stands out to you when you look at UCF. With that in mind, do you adjust the game plan and do more plays with the tight end and tight to help with pass block, or maybe K'Mon stays in for pass blocking as well? Does that change how you look at your offense this week?
Yeah, a little bit. We got to still do what we do. We definitely have some backup plans just in case we can't hold up and stuff like that. But we feel really good about our guys too. They're like Coach Moore said, they're a really good football team, and they do a lot of good stuff on defense, and they're really good up front. And there's really, when I game plan, I look for what I call the squirrel. And there's not many squirrels out there. I mean, there's not one really. And what I mean by that is who's the guy we want to pick on. And and so it's an Alabama term. I got it from my buddy Chris Donnelly back home. But anyway, we look for the squirrel, the guy we want to pick on, and there's not a squirrel out there. So we got to do a good job of just playing our brand of football. We got to be able to handle them up front, and running backs got to run hard, and we got to be able to pass protect. Ben's got to have a lot of courage standing in the pocket, and our receivers have to run down the field. So we'll see. We'll see what we need to do. We definitely have some backup plans if needed.
In most, if not all, of the games you've played so far, you've entered the game averaging more points than your opponent. Now you go against the leading scoring team in the country. When you and Coach Morris game plan and start thinking about plays and scripting series of plays, does it alter your philosophy as far as taking more chances, going on fourth down, that kind of thing, with the idea that you may have to get into a shootout with these guys?
Yeah, we have full confidence that Coach Malone and those guys are going to do what they got to do to stop them, but we have to outplay their offense. I mean that's every week. You got to outplay the opponent's offense. You got to have one more point than they got at the end of the night. We didn't play very well last week. We didn't play very, to our style, really to our standard the past 2 weeks. Even though we came away with 2 wins, we've got to play better. And we've got to do a good job of helping our defense out, like you said, by trying to outscore them and do those kind of things. But I'm gonna leave that decision making, go for it on fourth down, and whatever it may be up to coach and stuff. We'll be ready as an offensive staff and have a call ready for that situation if that situation arises. But again, we got to go play. We got to go play, and we'll see. We'll see what they got when they got it, and they come in here, and see what we can do better than we have the past 2 weeks. And very not disappointed in last week's performance, because obviously we had 580 yards and all that, hoopla with statistics and all that stuff that y'all look at. But we won the game, but we didn't do it the way we should have done it. We felt like we left a lot out there. But our guys found a way to win when we really needed it the most. Overcame penalties and overcame a lot of things in that game, a lot of adversity in that game that in years past we don't overcome. But we can't put ourselves in that situation this week. We gotta come out hot, on fire, and finish off hot and on fire, and that helps everybody. That helps the whole team. So that's our job. And that's what we got to do a better job of.
The different schemes and personnel, but having played TCU, does that give you any boost of confidence against a defense like this? You've already seen a defense of this caliber.
Yeah, I think these guys may be even better than them, than TCU on defense. They're really athletic, they're real twitchy. There's certain spots that TCU had that they maybe have a little bit better player at, but in terms of the whole overall defense, I rank these guys in TCU right, neck and neck, maybe a slight edge to one. But it's going to be a tough challenge for us, that's for sure. But again, we got a good team too, and we're not in first place or tied for first place in the West for not earning it. So we got to go play, and we'll see how the West matches up with the East, I guess.
How do you split up game planning duties among your offensive staff? How do you guys break up that?
On Mondays we come in. I like to watch a couple full games on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night before we get out of here. Just kind of get a good feel for who they are. We'll break up Monday morning. Coach Fry goes in and starts working on blitz report, getting us protected, trying to keep our quarterback as clean as possible. So he'll break that down and very in-depth study. Spends a lot of time on that, and he'll start getting into some base runs. Coach Traylor and Coach Gunn are looking at a lot of base runs, 1st and 10, base run stuff, 2nd and long stuff. I'm looking at a lot of formation, how they line up the different formations, how they adjust emotions. And then me and Coach Stepp get into a lot of quick game, base pass stuff that we can get in on Mondays that we got to work on today's practice. And then Coach Stepp will break off at some point, go look at shot plays, see what kind of shot plays we want to try to take, and he'll have some good ones drawn up. I got to figure out a way to protect it all, me and Coach Fry. So we have to figure out which ones match up and which ones we can get protected long enough to take a shot down the field. But that's kind of how Monday goes. We'll get back in the afternoon and kind of get all of our thoughts on the board, like Coach said. I might go back and watch a couple games from last year to see if there's any similarities, which there are some this week, and go back through and see if there's anything that other teams did well against them in years past. And something fits what we do as well. I mean, you don't want to just add a bunch of stuff that, kids come in here on Tuesday and you're presenting them with a whole new offense. But if stuff fits, or if there's just a little small wrinkle here and there we can do, maybe it's an alignment or a motion that wind addresses it a little bit different. That's really what we're looking for on Mondays, so that when the kids do come in on Tuesdays, we're able to give them, hey, this is the plan, this is our base stuff, this is what we're really looking for when we do this motion, when we do this shift. This is what we're looking for from them. If they give us this is what we want to do. If they don't give us this is what we want to do. So a lot of it's just our base game planning, and then Tuesdays are built for, I don't know if you asked me the whole week or not, but I think Tuesdays we get more into third downs. A lot of third down game planning goes on today with me and Stepp and even Fry and Traylor and Gunn. They look at a lot of short yardage stuff. We're looking at more third, medium to long. And then we'll get into this afternoon and then tonight we'll get into some red zone stuff, finish up our red zone plan on Wednesday, and then start looking at all the small, intricate stuff like 2-minute, 4-minute overtime thoughts. If there is an overtime game, that we can see what they like to do in overtime. And then just all the small things like that. We'll do our first nines on Wednesday morning, first thing, so we get our first 9 plays ready to go. And then Thursday is kind of just a, Wednesday night late, we'll get in and say, hey, what do we like, what do we not like? Let's throw this out. Let's take this. Our kids can't handle this. Let's take it out. This was too much. Take this out. But really trying to narrow down the plan so that those guys can really go in and study it Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning, to where they're really prepared for the game. Thursday for us is just kind of a go back through everything, make sure everything just is finalized, game plan is on the board and printed and ready to go. We work a lot of our just straight off our game plan on Thursday and Friday. That's how I script the practice on Thursday and Friday, is just straight off the board, so that we're really repping a lot of the things I'm really thinking I'm going to call in the game. Then we'll walk them again Saturday morning, and then it's time to go play on Saturday.
How many hours would you say goes into that a week?
Oh, man, a lot. You know, if we got paid by the hour, we'd be getting paid a lot more money to do that. But, you know, we're up here quite a bit. I know Sunday, Coach Morris does a great job letting the staff go to church, spend some time in the morning with their family. We usually get up here on Sunday about 1:30, and then we'll be here, depending on, like last week, we were here till like 1 o'clock in the morning, because it was a Friday game. You know, we usually try to get out of here on Sunday at a decent time because we got all day Monday to game plan. Monday's pretty much our best day because it's straight game planning all day. I let the staff get out of here. Coach Morris wants everybody home to eat dinner with their families on Monday. So I try to let our guys go about 7 o'clock on Mondays to get home for a late dinner. I get to put Charlie to bed on Mondays. That's one of my favorite days. And then Tuesday we're back at it. We'll be up here late tonight. Just depends on what time we're done. You know, it doesn't matter. Just whenever we're done. You know, there's an old saying in football that you lose a lot of games after 10 o'clock. So I try to be cognizant of that. I know we've been up here till 12, 1 o'clock before, but try to stay, you know, try to keep our staff as fresh as possible. If I have to stay and do a few more things, I will, but try to get our guys out, get them some rest so they can stay as fresh as possible towards the end of the year. And then Wednesdays, we'll have our family dinner night. And then after family dinner, we come in, and like I said, we're trying to throw stuff out. So we'll be up here till, you know, pretty late that night too, obviously thinking about the 10 o'clock rule. And then Thursday's a pretty good day for us. I know Coach Morris gets out and is able to go watch Chandler play, and he wants all of us, you know, home as well to try to see our family. But it's a grind, but that's why we signed up for this job. And really, to us, it's not a job. It's fun. I mean, when you get to watch football all day, it's not a job. It's a lot of fun, and even when I go home, I watch football. So I don't know really where my job ends because I just watch football all the time. But you know, it's fun. You know, that's what I like. It's what I love to do. It's what all of our guys love to do. And you know, like I said, it's not a job. It's just we're having fun, and it's also fun when you got guys around you that you have fun with. You know, you're not looking over and being like, man, I hate that guy, or that guy's terrible, or, you know, whatever. We have a lot of fun. We laugh, we cut up, we joke. You know, we try to solve a lot of world issues in there, as well as trying to figure out third down, red zone. So we have a good time, and like I said, it's a lot of fun in our room.
You've obviously got a very productive offense. Not only have you won the 6 games, but you're averaging 41 points per game. What are the biggest differences that you see just in the confidence of your group, the way they carry themselves, or who's most different between now and a year ago?
Are we still at 41?
It says 41.5.
Wow, I wouldn't have expected that. But it's a tribute to our guys. I mean, they've got a lot of confidence, like you said. They've got a lot of confidence. They understand the offense. They're playing well within the system. You know, for instance, I'll just be straight up honest with you. On 3rd and 19, I don't have many calls for that last week, and we literally drew a play up in the dirt. I was trying to tell Steph what I wanted from the box. Steph's relaying the message to Cortland. G.A. Will Bryant's relaying the message to Ben, and we hit it. But it's kind of one of those things where it's in the system. We didn't work it. I didn't expect us to be in 3rd and long, 3rd and 20, 3rd and 19, so we don't really work those plays. But when it's in the system, and you got guys like Cortland and Trey and James and Myron and those guys that understand what you're trying to get accomplished, and you got a quarterback that's not afraid to pull the trigger, you know, you can get that kind of stuff done. And you know, and so they got a lot of confidence. I think a lot of it's because they understand what we want, what we expect. Even at practice, had a buddy come out and watch practice, and man, he was like, man, y'all's practices are unbelievable. How many reps you get, how fast everybody's just going from point A to point B really fast, and you're getting a lot of stuff done quickly. So you know, our guys just know what to expect in year 3, and it's not year 1 where you're having to coach, like Coach Morris says all the time, you're not having to coach daily wins of just, hey, if we can just line our helmets up right, or if we can tie our shoes in a double knot, whatever it is that we were trying to do in year one to celebrate a win, we're not having to do that anymore. We're able to actually coach football and go play. So our guys have a lot of confidence. Even though we haven't played well the past 2 weeks, I really felt like in the game of the night that whenever we needed to make a play, I said it on the headset, Coach Morris said on the headset, Coach Stepwin relayed it, whoever it was relayed, hey, somebody's got to make a play. And when the game was on the line, we made plays. Past 2 weeks, 4th and 26, 3rd and 19. James Prochet over the middle. Ben has to rip his right arm through a D lineman to throw it down the middle of James. Xavier Jones bouncing it outside and scoring a touchdown. Kamen Freeman with a heck of a spin move and score. They got called back because of a iffy hold. But the guys were making plays when the game was on the line and it had to be made. Our guys stepped up. What we got to get out of is being in that situation and having to step up and make a play at the end of the game. Let's make plays throughout the game and make it a little bit easier on ourselves when we're coming down the stretch and trying to win the game in the fourth quarter. But again, 3rd and 7, 4-minute drill, 3rd and 7, we throw a ball out there to Trey. It's a dangerous time to throw the ball because you don't want to throw an incompletion and stop the clock and give them an extra timeout. But if you hit it, which we did, and we had a good call on, and Cortland and Trey executed. We got great protection up front. And we executed it, and it was to perfection. And once we hit that, the game was pretty much over. So guys make plays. They just have confidence in making those plays. We gotta eliminate that and stay out of those situations where we have to make big time plays in the fourth quarter. Now this week, I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be come down to the end. I think we're going to have to play great. I think we're going to have to come out, like I said, on fire and play good throughout the whole game because they're very good on defense, very explosive on offense. We've seen them. We watched them getting ready for Cincinnati. And we were watching their offense against Cincinnati. So we've seen them. We know our kids know it, and but we'll be ready and expect the confidence to show up again this week as well.